sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. The judge, he said to me, son, you got more rights to be walking around with a gun. He said, you better find you a place to stay, or we're gonna make you pay for sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. I keep working on this song. I might get a song out of this, but you get the idea. It's all about poor people being arrested and being given citations for trying to sleep, for trying to have a place to sleep. That's all I'm talking about. These people, they're given citations, and a lot of people say, well, they're all drug addicts, and they're all mentally ill. You know, even if they do have mental disabilities or substance abuse disorders, think of how much harder their lives become when they can't find a safe place to sleep, or a safe place to rest their head at night without being harassed or being moved down the road or being threatened with arrest. I mean, come on. Santa Monica, you got to do a better job. You got to stop criminalizing poverty and homelessness and start building affordable housing. Start building some more shelter beds, because you don't even want to be responsible for the homeless human beings that live in your city. I met with the Housing and Human Services Director on the Measure GS committee that I serve on. And that Housing and Human Services Director said they didn't even know how many homeless people Santa Monica should be responsible for. They haven't determined how many homeless human beings here in Santa Monica should be considered Santa Monica's homeless residents. You know, they have no problem taking responsibility for their rich people in their city. They're happy to say, even if somebody's here for a day and they're rich, they say, they're here with us. They're here with Santa Monica. That's us. But when homeless people come through the city, they say, they're all from somewhere else. They're not ours. We're not responsible for them. Take them out, please, take them away. That's the way they treat poor people and homeless people here in Santa Monica. And we need to stand up for human rights. Because if you're arresting people for being poor and homeless, you're moving in the wrong direction. There are two directions. One, you find solutions to help poor people and help lift them out of poverty and make their lives better. The other direction is criminalizing poverty and homelessness. And that's the direction that Santa Monica has gone in. That is the direction that California has gone in. Instead of building affordable housing and making sure that people have safe places to stay until we have enough affordable housing, they are criminalizing poverty and homelessness. And that is the wrong direction. It doesn't take a Harvard graduate to know that if you are arresting people for being poor and homeless and at the same time failing to build any affordable housing or shelter beds or safe spaces for poor people to stay in, then you're moving in the wrong direction because you're criminalizing poverty and homelessness. And really, that shouldn't be a crime. We all know that. That should go against the 8th Amendment of our Constitution here in the United States. That's what Chief Justice Sotomayor, no, not Chief Justice. She's a justice in the Supreme Court. Justice Sotomayor said in her dissent of Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling, look it up, Grants Pass versus Johnson. Justice Sotomayor said in her dissent of that ruling, she said, to criminalize somebody for sleeping with a blanket and a pillow in a public space while you're not having any shelter beds or safe spaces for them to sleep in, is cruel and inhumane and goes against the Eighth Amendment of our Constitution. And we need to stand up for the rights of these people, and I thank her for her dissent in that ruling. I also want to remind people that in response to the Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling, the state of Oregon passed a law. They passed a law saying that Grants Pass was restricted from prosecuting homeless people and poor people from sleeping in the streets. It restricted Grants Pass from doing everything that Grants Pass wanted to do. It wanted to criminalize every homeless person that was on the street. But the state of Oregon said so easily, because you're going to have to build more affordable housing. And I credit the state of Oregon for making sure that they stood up and pushed back against the Grants Pass versus Johnson ruling. Sometimes I don't make it sound as articulate as I would like to, but you get the idea. You see what I'm saying? The state of Oregon made sure that the city of Grants Pass, Oregon, couldn't criminalize homelessness as easily as they wanted to. And that's a great thing that Oregon did. And Santa Monica could do the same thing. The state of California could do the same thing. The state of California could say, listen, we don't need to criminalize homelessness because we don't have enough shelter beds or enough safe spaces for homeless human beings. And we have the largest homeless population in the whole country. So we're not going to criminalize homelessness. But instead, cities like Santa Monica criminalize homelessness and give citations to poor people for sleeping on the streets when there is no place for them to go. We can do better than that. Instead of criminalizing poverty and homelessness, because then you end up criminalizing people for sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Everybody said, hey, you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. All the people in jail, they said, hey, what you in for? I said, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. The judge, he said, listen, son, you got more rights walking around with a gun. You better find yourself a place to stay, or you're going to have to pay for sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. They said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Oh, the rich man, he can fall asleep on the grass. But if you're poor, you better haul it before they haul in your ass for sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Everybody said, hey, what you in for? I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. Everybody said you must have done something more. I was just sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. you doing? Good to see you, Ernest. Hey! People just sleeping outdoor while being poor. Sleeping outdoor while being poor. Wow, thank you. Thank you, Ernest. How you doing? Everything good? All right. Keep getting involved, speaking out for the poor, because that's right. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. That's why we need to stand up for human rights right here in Santa Monica.
Get out of office. They have no business being in office.
You want to come and say that?
No, I just got one thing to say. We get all these people, they're in the city council here in Santa Monica. They should not be in office. They have no business in office because they mistreat the homeless and everybody else that they don't think belongs here. So they shouldn't be in office. They're here to serve the people. We're not here to serve them. They're here to serve us. So they have no business mistreating people the way they've been mistreating because they're homeless and on the street.
Thank you, Ethan Hyatt.
They need to start building some place for people to live here. They need to build some shelter beds in them.
That's right. Santa Monica, you've been doing a fine job of building luxury housing here in Santa Monica. But you need to build some affordable housing because that's right. Ethan Hyatt says if you're in office now in Santa Monica and you're treating the homeless people the way you have been, you need to get out of office.
Get out.
That's right. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, to stand up for human rights. And that's a very simple thing to do. When you're in office, when you're in government, either you stand up for human rights or you stand against human rights. And if you're not standing up for human rights, get out of office.
Those are the people we need in office that stand up for human rights.
So that's right, Ethan. The people that need to be in office are those who will stand up for human rights. Because if you're standing up for big business and money, then you're standing up for the wrong things. The rich people don't have a problem in this country. They're doing just fine. It's the poor and the homeless that need government to stand up and speak out for them.
They're supposed to serve us, not us them.
That's right.
Yeah. So if you're to serve them, you get out of office. You got the office to serve us, not us serve you.
That's right, Ethan. I agree. We have too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless, when they are the ones bringing this on.
They're the ones causing the problem. So people on the street.
You are right, my friend. That's right. It's bad government has put us in this situation where we don't have enough affordable housing. You don't have boarding houses or rooming houses or YMCA rooms in Santa Monica anymore, or much of the coast. I mean, come on. There's no reason. We have 800 miles of public beaches and mostly rich white people living next to those public beaches here in California.
Use it.
That's right. And there's plenty of empty motel and hotel rooms tonight where poor people could be sleeping. It's just a matter of kowtowing to those who want to make a profit off of everything instead of making sure that human beings can have a decent life. And that's why we need to raise taxes on the rich right here in California. Get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. We don't have to wait for the rest of the country. We don't have to wait until Trump's out of office to raise taxes on the rich. We can do it right here in California. right direction. We can take a positive step in the right direction because we've been heading in the wrong direction ever since Prop 13 here in California. And that was 1978, 79. So we need to move in a better direction. I can't believe how far California has moved to the right. Everybody says California is so liberal. Well, I'm sorry. We got a governor who criminalized poverty and homelessness. We're not that liberal here in California, that's for sure. We need to get a lot more liberal because we have too many of our leaders blaming the poor for being poor and the homeless for being homeless, while they're bringing about that very situation. They're saying, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. We'll pull the chair beneath your seat and mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with bugs. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just be rich. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. They'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. But they ain't got no medicine to get you off of the streets. So don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. That's what you gotta do, live in a mansion. How the rich folks wanna help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther, a little farther, a little farther down the road would be good. That's how they used to do it. Now they tear down your tents and take all of your stuff, put everything into a dumpster, except they give you a 60-gallon bag and they say, fit as much as you can in this 60-gallon bag because you're poor and that's all you deserve to have. That's just a shame. And Santa Monica doesn't have any storage bins for homeless people. There are some organizations that have storage bins for people downtown, but Santa Monica doesn't have any storage bins in the whole city, and has very little shelter beds. And they're trying to send the shelter beds that they do have. They're closing down 60 shelter beds here in Santa Monica, the Samo Shell Shelter. And they're going to be moving those beds to the city of Bell or somewhere else, a more densely populated city, lower income city. And that's just a shame, Santa Monica. You got to be part of the solution and not part of the problem. But that's what they tell the people. They say, don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and sick. We'll put you in the hospital and spit you out real quick. They'll say you need to rest more and change the way you eat. But they ain't got no medicine to get you off of the streets. So don't be poor and homeless. That's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live in a mansion. You gotta get a mansion. How the rich folks wanna help you if they could. So they'll take your tent and your bags and stuff and move them to another neighborhood. A little farther, a little farther, a little farther down the road would be good. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't live in your car. They'll find a way to ticket you, no matter where you are. They'll say you're near a schoolyard, a city park. They'll make you move your car all day and give you tickets while you're sleeping in the dark. So don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless. Just live on a yacht. Gotta get a yacht. How the rich folks wanna help you if they can. So they'll start a race to outer space to help their fellow man. We are going to build affordable housing up on Mars. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor at all. They'll pull a chair beneath your seat, mock you when you fall. They'll tell you that you're crazy and you're on the drugs. They'll say you're mostly lazy and you're filled with all kinds of bugs. So don't be poor and homeless, that's what they say. Don't be poor and homeless. Don't be poor and homeless, just be rich. Don't be poor and homeless, just be rich. That's right, homeless people, just be rich. That's right, we need to send all the homeless people to the Tony Robbins motivational seminar down by the airport. 2 days down by the airport. Send all your homeless people to the Tony Robbins motivational seminar, and we'll help them find a way to get out of being homeless. You know, the best way to help people to stop being homeless is to build more affordable housing. That would be great, Santa Monica. Instead of criminalizing poverty, build more affordable housing. And you could build some where that airport is, where that Santa Monica airport is. You can plan to build 3,000 units of affordable housing on 25% of that airport property. Great idea. 3,000 units of housing, and you still have 148 acres of land left over for a great park. You need to build some affordable housing, Santa Monica, because you're doing a terrible job with that. You're building rich people's housing, but no poor people's housing. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is coming to Santa Monica this year. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is something everybody in Santa Monica should hear about. Oh, the Great Park and Community Housing Initiative is going to be on the ballot in fall of 28. The Great Park and Community Housing Initiative should get a yes vote from us all. That would be great. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be on the ballot until the fall of 2028. But we need to speak out. We need to speak out for common sense, affordable housing being built on that 192 acres of land. You know, I'm the only candidate so far in this in this neighborhood forum that I spoke at a few weeks ago. I was the only candidate out of 11 that would propose to use any of that airport property, that Santa Monica airport property, to build affordable housing. And that's just a shame, Santa Monica, especially since you're criminalizing poverty, and since you are arresting people for sleeping in public while they're poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor. You can do better, Santa Monica. You can be part of the solution instead of continuing to be part of the problem and making it harder for poor people to thrive and survive. We live in the richest, most powerful country in the world. There's no reason for poor people to be sleeping in the streets while rich people are having space races. We can do better than that. Just one key unlocks them both. It's staring at me. Come on, people. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Come on, people. Smile on your brother. Everybody get together. Try to love one another right now. Right now. Right now. That's right. Gotta keep on working at it. Everybody get together and try to love one another. And I'm just talking about spreading the love around a little bit better. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. We have to build affordable housing for those who don't have any place to live. We have to make sure that poor kids have a good public education. We've got good schools here in California, but we also have some of the worst in the nation. And we need to lift those schools up. We need to lift those young kids out of poverty and help make sure that they have a better, brighter future. And we got to keep integrating our society because we haven't gotten there yet. We haven't gotten to a place where we have equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. We got to keep moving forward. We got to keep spending more money on low-income area schools. Keep spending more and more money on low-income area schools for the services and the teachers and everything that they need to have a great public education. Keep spending more money on those low-income area schools until the rich people want to send their kids to those schools. Then you will know we have done enough. No, we don't have to screw the rich. We just need to raise taxes on the rich. 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 That's what I'm saying, Jerry. And Tiffany, how are you? Good to see you both. That's right. We don't have to hate the rich. We can raise taxes on them. It's part of our Constitution. It's part of our U.S. Constitution, and it's part of our California Constitution. And that's why here in California, we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. That's right. It's a 5% wealth tax on the billionaires here in California. A 5% wealth tax over 5 years. That's right. Because we know that when you raise income taxes on the billionaires, they find a way to get out of paying income taxes. Why Trump himself, he got away with not paying any income taxes many years. And he said, well, I didn't make any money that year. And that's what a lot of these billionaires do. They say, I put it back into my company, so I didn't have to pay any income tax. So this California tax is a 5% wealth tax on the billionaires here in California to make sure that we lift up our healthcare system here in California for the poor and make sure that we spend more money on education and hopefully other programs. And we also need to raise taxes to pay for affordable housing. I found out that Seattle has a tiny village of about 50 tiny homes. Somehow Seattle was able to build 50 of these tiny little studios for $16,000 a piece. $16,000 a piece for these little cabanas, these little rooms with sinks and I suppose a microwave and a bed. $16,000 each. And why can't we do that here in Santa Monica? We should be able to do that. These are little prefab homes, prefab studios, and then the people in the village, they share restrooms and showers, and we could do something like that right here. And on one of these parking lots on the beach, I'm sure we could build 50 small portable housing units. It's just a matter of people wanting to do these things. People wanting to make sure that we have places for poor people to survive until we have enough affordable housing here in Santa Monica. See the people living in the street, ain't got no money, ain't much to eat. They're not too proud to take your crust of bread. Just look for some place to lay their tired heads. What's the problem that brought them here? The story's long and it isn't very clear. So many roads lead to the street. Just look for some place to lay their tired feet. All right. I ain't saying they ain't done wrong. I ain't saying didn't help to bring it on. Yep. I'm just saying there must be somewhere they belong. And they're looking for somewhere. Looking for somewhere. Looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. All right now. All these homeless people living in the street with all these empty buildings and night skies for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, yeah. Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Well, I gotta get a little bit. Gotta get a little bit of you. Come on, come on, come on. All these homeless people living in a ditch with all these empty buildings and tight skies for the rich. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live and dance and dance and dance. Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. All right now, thank you very much. What's your name? What's your name? Gabrielle. That was Gabrielle dancing. I love it, love it. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising hands. I ain't saying you have to give, but everybody has got a right to live, and they're just looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. One more time, everybody sing along. Here we go, go, go. You can sweep them out your doorway, tear down their tents. Gonna keep on coming if you keep on raising rounds. I ain't saying you have to do good, but why don't you try letting homeless people move in to your neighborhood, Santa Monica? Looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere, looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Don't need your swimming pool, don't need your king size bed. Just looking for somewhere to lay their weary heads. Gabriel. Wade. Yes, say, you want to say hello? This is Gabriel. You saw him dancing.
Hello. How are you?
Where are you from, Gabriel?
Chile.
Chile.
Yes.
Wonderful. You having a good...
Amazing country.
Yeah.
Yes.
You already got a sweat going. That's great. Great to see you dancing out there and having a good time. You're going to be here for a while? Oh, wonderful. Okay, enjoy yourself. Spread peace and love, and keep. And I hope you can learn we got to keep standing up for human rights right here in the United States of America, and I hope they do that down in Chile too. But while you're here, I hope you see a lot of people standing up for human rights and the right of everybody to speak their mind, share their beliefs, and that's what we want to export to the rest of the world is human rights and the right of everybody to be able to be themselves and speak their minds in this country.
God bless you.
Thank you. God bless you. Thank you very much. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause with the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about hope. It's about joy. It's about bring some home to little girls and boys. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about enough hope to keep them off the door. Cause when the hope and the joy are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about joy. It's about hope. It's about you. It's about me. It's about human working towards equality. It's about me. It's about you. It's about saying Black Lives Matter too. Cause when you and me are gone, your numbers be moving on. It's about you. It's about me. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz, se trata de amor, se trata de paz y amor. Se trata de paz y amor. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Evenu shalom alechem, evenu shalom alechem, evenu shalom alechem, evenu shalom, shalom, shalom alechem. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. Evenu shalom alechem. Evenu shalom alechem. Evenu shalom alechem. Evenu shalom, shalom, shalom alechem. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. Assalamu alaikum, alaikum, yeah. It's about peace. It's about love. It's about the only thing my heart needs thinking of. It's about love. It's about peace. It's about a little bit of love and peace at least. Cause when the peace and love are gone, you know must be moving on. It's about peace. It's about love. 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 Oh, it's all about love. because we haven't gotten there yet. We got to keep working towards peace, with peaceful protest, towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all, because we haven't gotten there yet. We got to keep standing up for the rights of everybody to have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the whole wide world. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. There's no reason for poor people to be sleeping in the streets while rich people are having space races. We can do better than that. The other day, we just got our first trillionaire. That's the last thing we need in this world is a trillionaire. But that's what we got. And that's why we need to raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California, because we can't raise taxes on that trillionaire because he moved to Texas. That's right. Elon Musk moved to Texas because he didn't want California to tell him what to do. So he moved to Texas, where they have a $7.25 an hour minimum wage still on the books. And he's over there taking advantage of the poor people over there. So we need to raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California, because we have more billionaires than any other state in the whole country. And we have more homeless people than any state in the whole country. We need to raise taxes on the rich, the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026, right here in California. Everybody get behind that. Tell your leaders, your public servants, anybody who's running for office, tell them they better get behind that Billionaire Tax Act here in California. Because we might not be able to raise taxes on the billionaires all around the country, or the trillionaire, but we can raise taxes on the billionaires right here in California. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather sit around in my underwear than screw the poor and pollute the air. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. That's right, we got a trillionaire now. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather walk around in the bear and see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. Ah, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Ah, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna. Ah, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Ah, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad. No, it ain't. It ain't a crime. Unless you're sleeping outdoors in Santa Monica, then it is a crime to be poor. Because you're sleeping outdoor while being poor, sleeping outdoor while being poor, and they give people citations and arrest people for that. But that's a whole nother story. It's a sad situation, and we need to change that. That's right, peace and love. We need to speak out. And that's why we all need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026 right here in California. Get behind that Billionaire Tax Act and vote for that. It's a 5% wealth tax on the billionaires here in California. We're the fourth largest economy. We don't have to wait for Trump to be out of office before we raise taxes on the billionaires. We can do it right here in California. Oh, I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. Ah, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Ah, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad, no, it ain't. Ah, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Ah, mama, rich or poor, we're all gonna say goodbye some night. Hopefully not tonight. Oh, let's hang around a little longer if we can. Try to enjoy the ride a little bit while we're here. Now, I don't want you to think that I think all billionaires are evil, bloodsuckers. Some of them are just sick. They're like hoarders. drug addicts. They get a little bit of money, and they just got to get more and more and more and more. And more and more and more and more and more. And more and more and more and more and more. And then you get to need so much more that you become a trillionaire. Like Elon Musk. Now, the only problem, we can't raise taxes on Elon Musk because he moved to Texas. So we need to raise taxes on his buddies that are still here in California. That's the ones we can put. That's the one we can raise taxes on. And it's not just our duty. It's not just our privilege. It's our responsibility to raise taxes when things are so out of whack. A lot of people say to me, well, wait, if California raises the taxes on the billionaires in California, then all the billionaires in California are going to move somewhere else. And I say, bye. If you are the kind of billionaire who thinks it's okay for you to have space races while poor people sleep in the streets, we don't want you in California. If you are the kind of billionaire who thinks it is okay for us to be spending $20,000 per public school student in California and be ranked around 30th in spending on public education, if you think that's okay while you're having your big parties and your space races and your yachts for your yachts, if you're that kind of billionaire, you don't need to stay in California. Go ahead, join Elon Musk in taking advantage of the Texas people in Texas, or move with Trump over to Florida and take advantage of the poor people in the swamp. No, we want the kind of billionaires who want to stay here and pay their fair share and make sure that we lift people up, that we show the progressive government can make a difference in people's lives, that we can help lift people out of poverty and make sure that everybody has the basics: food to eat, health care, a good public education, and a job that pays a living wage, and a decent place to live. That's right, that ain't too much to ask. So we need to get those kind of billionaires here in California and tell the rest of them, if you don't want to pay your fair share, go join Elon Musk and those other people taking advantage of poor people in some state where they don't care about the poor people, in some state where they don't have health care for the poor, in some state where they don't care about housing the homeless, and they say they don't. Now, the difference is here in California, they say they care about housing the homeless, they just don't do it, and then they criminalize poverty. It's a real shame. We have to show the progressive government can make a difference in people's lives. Well, I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a Trump than a trillionaire? No. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a billionaire. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you sad. Oh, mama, but being poor just ain't that bad nowadays. Oh, mama, I don't want to make you cry. Oh, mama, rich and poor, we're all going to say goodbye some night, hopefully not tonight. Well, I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather live outside in the open air than try to keep sick people from getting health care. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather walk around with greasy hair than sell guns and weapons everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. One more time, everybody sing along here. Go. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather walk around in the bear than see homeless people everywhere. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. I'd rather be a bum than a trillionaire. And I'll keep just the rich and the powerful. We've done a very good job of being kind to the greedy in this country. We have to do a better job of being kind to the needy. We live in the land of milk and honey. We have plenty and plenty and plenty and plenty. There's no reason for poor people to be sleeping in the streets while rich people are having space races. We can do better than that. California, we are the fourth largest economy in the whole wide world. We are the number one agricultural state. We are the center of entertainment in the world. We are the largest populated state. We have the most billionaires and we have the most homeless people. And yet, we have the most homeless people and we're ranked 30th in spending on public education. Come on, California, that's a terrible star, a terrible blight on California, a shame. Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. Spend more money on education, spend less money on incarceration. We spend around $20,000 per public school student, and we spend over $130,000 on each incarcerated individual. $130,000 on each incarcerated person. Come on, California. We need to spend more money getting a good start for human beings and giving them more choices of how they can be involved in our society. And as we move further and further along into this technological era, we're going to have to find more ways for people to be able to have the basics, to be able to survive, while we have more and more of the jobs going to the robots and the artificial intelligentsia. Because we've got all these machines taking over, all these machines that are very imperfect. They're more imperfect than human beings. They have their own problems. I was talking to the artificial intelligence, the Google artificial intelligence, and it told me it made some errors. And it told me, I'm sorry, sometimes I have hallucinations. Sometimes I just put a lot of words out because I instead of, sometimes I'm not very articulate and I just spit out a lot of words, and sometimes they aren't correct. They do not answer the question correctly, and they are false, but they are not lies because I am not self-aware, and therefore, if I am not self-aware, I cannot be lying. And I told that artificial intelligence, when people say they are not lying because they are not aware they are lying, sometimes we call those people pathological liars. Anyway, this artificial intelligence told me it has hallucinations and it gets things wrong. And yet we're going to make sure that we create more energy for the artificial intelligence. And we are having more people lose jobs because of artificial intelligence, which is fine. But we need to make sure that we are taking care of these human beings and finding another way for them to be able to thrive and survive in this richest, most powerful country in the world. We got rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the government are finding ways to fund all the money to be spent on rich people's toys, making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the government are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on our rich people's toys. I'm a rich people's toys. all over this country tonight. We have buildings and buildings and warehouses filled with artificial intelligentsia and robots. They are taking jobs from people and they're using up more and more of the energy. And they're having all of their circuits cleaned and all of their energy taken care of. And people are making sure that they are dusted and cleaned off and kept warm and cozy or cooled, depending on what they need. All of these artificial intelligentsia, these computers, these robots are being well taken care of all over the country. And we have human beings sleeping in the streets. That's right. We've got warehouses and warehouses of rich people's toys being taken care of and cleaned and energized and made sure all their circuits are just right, everything's working perfectly. And we have human beings sleeping in the streets. We can do better than that. Here in the richest, most powerful country in the world, we can make sure that every human being has the basics. As we move further and further into this technological era, we got the rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys, making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. I hope you tell your leaders right here in Santa Monica. We have the streets littered with rich people's toys, scooters, electric bicycles, autonomous cars, that's driverless cars, electric cars that drive themselves and picking up people. We've got every kind of electronic display you could think of all around Santa Monica. And they're arresting poor people for sleeping in the streets. It's a shame. We got to move in a better direction, Santa Monica. We got to show that we care about human beings. We have to show that we can help lift people out of poverty and make life better for the poor human beings right here in Santa Monica, California. Instead of criminalizing poverty, we need to be building affordable housing, finding safe spaces for homeless people to survive until we have enough affordable housing, and make places with shelter beds. Not just shelter beds for rich people's toys. They're doing fine. They're being well taken care of all over the country. Rich people's toys making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people's toys, making rich people money while the poor girls and boys live in the streets. It ain't funny how they're raising all the rents, and the governments are finding ways to funnel all the money to be spent on rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. On the rich people and rich people's toys. That's right. Let's tell tell our leaders, our public servants, to stand up for human rights. We need to make sure that every human being can have the basics in this richest, most powerful country in the world. And this fourth largest economy of the world, California. In this very wealthy city of Santa Monica. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council again, to stand up for human rights. I wish I didn't have to, really. I'd rather just play basketball, swim in the ocean, play music. But if you're criminalizing poverty, if you're sending people to jail for sleeping in public places because you don't have any place for them to go, and you're criminalizing their poverty, we can't stand by when that is happening. I can't stand by. And that's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council. And that's why I hope you get out and get involved, peacefully protest, speak up, stand up for the rights of those who don't have a big voice in our democracy. See, the rich people, they got a big voice in our democracy. They can change things just by saying, listen, if you raise taxes on us in California, we'll leave California. And I said, bye. If you're a billionaire and you don't want to have your taxes raised in California, go join Elon Musk over in Texas. Take advantage of the poor people over there. We need billionaires who care about human beings and want to make our government better here in California. So keep speaking out, keep getting involved. Keep standing up for equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Because we have not gotten there yet. Keep working towards a better day. It's like John Lewis said, do not get lost in the sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic. Our struggle is not the struggle of a day, of a week, of a month, or a year. Our struggle is the struggle of a lifetime. Never ever be afraid to make some noise, to get in some good trouble, some necessary trouble. And that's what inspired me to write this song. Thank you, John Lewis. And of course, he was talking about peaceful protest. And that's why I'm very proud of that union, the Unite Here union here in Los Angeles. They told the SoFi Stadium, they said, listen, we'll do your hospitality and beverage and all the work. We'll take care of all the work there at your SoFi Stadium for the World Cup soccer tournament. But if ICE harasses that union, they said they were going to go on strike and shut the whole thing down. That is a great way to use peaceful protest and boycott and the power of unions to keep government from overstepping. And we know that they are overstepping. If you have 20 million people living in your country that are undocumented, that's been coming on for a long time. That means a lot of people have been using these people for their labor and not been giving them their rights for generations. They've been telling the authorities for generations, look the other way while I bring in workers to do my labor that is needed during my picking season or during my busy season in my factory or whatever. They've been doing that for generations, telling the authorities to look the other way. And now when Trump wants to get all of the poor people out of our country, the ones that have been here for generations and not been given their rights, not been given a pathway to citizenship, I think it is fantastic that this union got together and said, hey, how can we stand up against ICE without confronting them violently and physically? And I think this is a brilliant idea. Whoever came up with it needs to be congratulated. Because we know most of those 20 million people that are living in our country that are undocumented, most of those people are just hardworking people who want to make a living for their family. And they've been brought here and used for their labor and not been given their rights. So we need to stand up for their rights to be here until our Congress does its job and make sure that they pass a comprehensive immigration bill with a pathway to citizenship for these tens of millions of people who have been used for their labor and not been given their rights, not been given a pathway to citizenship. So I think that's just fantastic. De la Sierra Moreno, cielito lindo, vienen bajando. Un par de ojitos negros, cielito lindo, de contrabando. Es el lunar que tiene, cielito lindo, junto a la boca. No se lo des a nadie, cielito lindo, que a mí me toca. Ay, ay, ay. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 ay. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. That's right. We need to stand up for their rights, a pathway to citizenship. And we need to stand up for the rights of the poor people right here in Santa Monica. You know, in Santa Monica, the city council, they say, we stand with the people who are here. We stand with the people, undocumented people who are here and used for their labor. But you know what? They just want to push all the poor people out of Santa Monica. It doesn't matter whether you are a citizen or whether you are an undocumented immigrant. Their favorite, one of their favorite programs is sending people back to their home. So they don't care if you're a citizen of the United States or undocumented. They would just want to ship all the poor people out of Santa Monica. That's what they would do. So they're just like Trump. They want to send all the poor people out of their city, and Trump wants to send all the poor people back to their countries. And that's just a shame. We need to show that we're different right here in Santa Monica. Ay, ay, ay. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Islands, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Ay, 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 ay. Cantando llores, porque cantando se alegran, cielito lindo, los corazones. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's make sure this land is made for you and me. Let's work to make sure this land is made for you and me. That's right. We got to keep working towards equal rights, equal justice, equal opportunity for all. Make sure that everybody can have the basics in this country. Food to eat, health care, good public education, and a decent place to live. We can do great things in this country. They have been done before. And here here in California, we need to get behind the Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Right here in California. The Billionaire Tax Act of 2026. Right here in California. That's right. We don't have to wait for the rest of the country. Let's keep moving forward. Keep showing that progressive government can make a difference in people's lives, can help lift people out of poverty and make things better. And we need to keep getting the people, the 50% of the population that Elon Musk has more money than. That's right. The bottom 50% of our population, Elon Musk, now has more money than the bottom 50% of our population. And we need to keep getting those people involved in our democracy, because we don't need to let the rich people run everything. That's why I'm running for Santa Monica City Council, because I'm poor. I'm old, I'm poor. But I can speak out and I can stand up for human rights, and that's what we all need to do. Use your voices, use your votes, get involved, and stand up for those in need. Stand up for those who don't have a big voice in our democracy. Keep working towards a better day. And common sense gun laws also. We need to stand up for that, and good public education for every human being here in the United States of America. Keep speaking out. Don't give up. Keep on. Keep on getting up. Keep on. Keep on speaking out. Keep on singing. Peace and love is what it's all about. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Keep on. Keep on getting up. Keep on. Lend a helping hand. We can't solve every problem, but we can try to understand. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Don't get lost in a sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic. Someday we'll get there. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. Don't get lost in the sea of despair. Be hopeful, be optimistic. And someone day we'll get there and dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet, but you know we're on our way. And dream of a better day. Oh, we ain't there yet,